You know, the VR thing's kind of like trying to invent metaphysics. You know, as far as ideas becoming more sophisticated, you know, I mean, as far as base desires becoming more sophisticated, I'll describe again. That's not so that you will agree, but so you maybe at least can understand what I'm trying to tell you. You know, when you start off having hunger, it's just so that you can eat. You know, you end up eating. But as you learn that, oh, well, it's there because we're animals with this genetic blueprint, and it's built into us so that we'll find food because we need nutrition, then you can study nutrition, and you can find out that this urge to feed ourselves is not 100% the best we can think of. We can improve it in terms...
Improve it for what purpose, again? I mean, what? You're making a value judgment, so somehow... Well, if you eat like a pig and you die at 35, that's somehow a lesser strategy than eating boring and well, you know, so you don't create any kind of health issue, and living to be 85 and decrepit and senile. So, I mean, yeah, isn't that another value statement? Isn't that another issue to be discussed about which one of those is more meritorious? But yes, the fact that we should control that nature thing, that we shouldn't be obliged to obey any of its fucking rules, and its rules are basically, yes, that we find certain things tasty, and those things aren't necessarily good for us, okay? And that's a big part of the inefficiency and the obvious flaws in that freaking design, is that we have emotions that aren't healthy. Okay, people want revenge. What good does that ever do anybody? That's a stupid fucking thing to exist. I mean, it's great for animals that have to protect their future by annihilating each other, but it really doesn't do a civilized human any fucking good.
In terms of actually getting good nutrition, and we find out, oh, we could go on diets, we can change what we eat to more nutritious things, and our desires even change. You know, you might eat oatmeal at first because it's good for your cholesterol, and after a year, you know, you're quiet.
Yeah, whatever. The oatmeal stores aren't out competing the McDonald's, okay? So we see what the human psychology is built for. We see where it tends to move and migrate. So it's kind of a stupid argument, I think. I mean, yes, we can reconstruct ourselves, but that reconstruction is going to be at the price of some degree of our satisfaction. Okay, we're going to have to compromise our interest to create something more, by whatever definition, valuable or sensible. And then, but yeah, I will agree that we can do that. What I will completely disagree with you on is this definition of what is more valuable.
That taste. You know, there's such a thing as an acquired taste, because we can use our intellect to improve and get a higher understanding of, you know, of a million things that affect us directly.
Or we can just deny our satisfaction. We can intellectually know it's wrong to rape women, so I won't rape women, so I'll be kind of, I'm not getting any because I can't rape women. Or, you know, the same thing, I won't eat meat because it's not nice to the animals, so I'll stop eating meat. But I will have to suffer the deprivation to do that. It's not going to be free. We're going to have to pay a price to do the right thing. We're going to have to compromise the natural construction. We're going to have to put a cheaper gasoline in our car, so to speak.
My urge to procreate, which you try to make, which, you know, not that I want to have kids, you know, I have kids, I want them now, whatever, you know, I'm going to own up to that. I think there's an urge to that, but maybe, you know, maybe it's just the lust to have sex, and then you end up with kids, whatever. They all add up to the same thing. In the end, I can expand it to include the idea of, yeah, I like having kids. Yeah, I want to have people in the world. Hopefully, I want to make the world a better place.
Yeah, well, whatever. Like I said, the issue of world population, the issue of your I want, the point is don't we have to justify what we want? Again, if the want comes at a price, if there's animals suffering because I eat meat, then I'll stop eating meat. I mean, that's the consequence. You gotta pay for the truth. All right, and the truth is that we are not going to create more sustainable and livable societies by creating an overpopulation problem that just sucks all the resources. We can't cure the disease if we have to keep mopping up the blood.
And have a good life and make the society as healthy as I think it can be, you know, and have a chance to live, a chance to survive. And while understanding greater and greater, you know, other people. Yeah,
again though, but if everybody's going to not compromise their want, If there's no one's willing to compromise their wants, you're not going to have the better world. You can't have it both ways. You have to give up something, because we see what our nature is. We see what we're constructed to do. And we were constructed to exist in an environment that controlled our population, an environment that imposed a restriction on us. We liberated ourselves from all those restrictions, but our biology hasn't caught up with that. All right, and so that's why we have to do something about that. We have to create some replacement mechanism, or we will do something completely idiotic. We will, like a lemming, fly right the hell off the cliff.
I have these urges because we share them. I see that it comes to me through the DNA. I see that it goes to them through the DNA. It all inspires me to share a perspective, and I'm just calling that, more enlightened. Why? Just because I think it's more enlightened? Yeah, but not without explaining why it's enlightened. It's all...
Well, how did you explain how it's more enlightened? How do you explain how it's enlightenment to be obedient to our biology? How is that enlightenment?
Survival. That's what I said. It's individual survival, and it's group survival, and it's the survival of the planet. We don't really want to nuke the whole planet. We want the planet to survive.
What? Well, whatever. You want the planet to survive. I'm saying it's an open question. I'm saying I don't want anything to suffer, and I don't want anything to be harmed, I don't want anything to be nuked, I don't want anything to be blown up. But I'm not so sure. I'm saying I want us to press the pause button. And I want us to answer some goddamn questions and take some fucking responsibility before we keep fucking rolling this ball. I mean, it's going somewhere, it's going to hit something, and we're not taking any responsibility for the momentum we're throwing into it. That's what I'm saying. I think you have too many unanswered questions to be a fucking so optimistic as you push this thing down the fucking road.
And if we did nuke it, some part would survive, but, we'd like it to be healthy and have...
Yeah, it's going to be real healthy. It will accommodate to its environment. I mean, we'll become the sci-fi version of the mole people or something. It'll be a little green and radioactive, and maybe we'll have 6 eyes and whatever. Our eyebrows will be over our ears. Whatever. Yeah, but we'll still be saying, just like there'll be plenty of pyro saying, let's keep rolling the ball. Let's keep rolling the ball. Let's keep rolling the ball. Doesn't matter what fucking thing you run into. Doesn't matter how much mess there is. You're just going to keep rolling the ball because you're fucking addicted and you're fucking compelled by your want.
Have something that would be pleasant to our standards. And that's the thing. Ultimately, survival becomes a personal standard. Once you have bare survival, you have higher standards for your survival, like you like art, or you want to have time to be creative, or whatever you think you want to arrange. And it becomes a matter of personal taste, because these personal tastes are all traced back to biological urges that we have to aid survival. So yeah, I think we can agree that it's about surviving.
No, well, of course we're not going to agree. It's not I don't think it's the mission of an intelligence to take its marching orders from a frickin' molecule that consumes and reproduces and has no brain. I just don't think on the surface of it that's showing very much intelligence. You don't find the near dumbest living thing on earth, I guess it would have been the dumbest living thing on earth, and go ask it what the meaning of your life is. So maybe your meaning maybe there's something more than survival. Maybe there is a qualitative question, and maybe it's, we got to hit the motherfucking pause button and answer some of these philosophical questions one way or the other decisively before we keep pushing this fucking bullshit down the road.